So, I said I was going to do a Snorlax run with a special twist. Here it is. Have you ever wondered how much a broken move like Amnesia helps Snorlax out in a playthrough? Today, I want to find out. I'm going to race Snorlax against itself. One Snorlax will use Amnesia, and the other will not. Will this broken move allow Snorlax to finish in less time and at a lower level? I think so. However, moveset diversity and flexibility may prove to be just as valuable. Comments for the algorithm are incredible. Keep up the hard work. But I really love reading your stories and thoughts on Pokemon. I read every single comment, and if I ask you to leave one, I'm genuinely interested in reading what you have to write. I think most of us are here because we love Pokemon, and we want to connect with others who do too. Feedback, criticism, and suggestions are welcome as well. Your thoughts on how to improve the channel has really pushed my content to the next level. Thank you so much. You're providing the ideas that help me make these videos better for you. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, grab the dome fossil, and share this video with a friend. Here's the challenge rules. I will only use Snorlax in battle. I'll use other Pokemon for HMs in order to progress through the game. I won't use any items in battle. The exception of this being Great Balls to catch a flying Pokemon when I get to Celadon City. I won't use any glitches other than the badge boost glitch. I'll explain that one in detail soon. I will intentionally use this glitch with the Snorlax that has Amnesia. If the badge boost glitch is triggered by an enemy's status move though, I'll allow it for either run. I won't use any rare candies until I'm at least level 60, and I've lost against an Elite Four member 5 times. In this case, I'll use 3 rare candies, and then attempt 5 more times. Rinse and repeat. Lastly, a quick disclaimer. These runs are single attempts at playing through the game. This isn't an in-depth study into which Snorlax would objectively get a faster time. I'm just going to be presenting my findings here in hopes that it's entertaining and encourages discussion. If you have a different strategy or route for completing this, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If something truly compelling comes up, maybe I'll redo one of these races in the future to try it out. In order to make things as fair as possible, I'll use the same Snorlax for each run. I'll do this by copying my save file after I find a Snorlax that I want. This ensures that both Snorlax runs have the same stats. To set this up, I pause the timer in the lab and start resetting to search for the Snorlax I want. A high attack and special DV are required here. Amnesia Snorlax, or Forgetful Bear, is likely going to use a lot of special moves later on in the run, and non-Amnesia Snorlax, or Sleepy Bear, is going to use a lot of physical moves. To determine the Pokemon's DVs, I use this site. It shows you a table of the Pokemon's stats at a certain level, and the corresponding DV value. The highest possible DV is 15. And in Snorlax's case, it's the only DV that will produce a 13 in defense or special. 17 in attack means that Snorlax is within the top 33% of all Snorlax. I'm looking for a Snorlax with 17 attack and 13 special. While I search, let's talk about Snorlax as a Pokemon in Generation 1. It has 110 base attack, which is incredible, 65 base defense and special, and only 30 in base speed. All of our normal moves will get stab, and they'll utilize our fantastic attack stat. However, the type diversity in Snorlax's move pool is mostly due to special moves, because in Generation 1 the move's type determines if it uses the attack stat or the special stat. This is pre-physical special split. Due to the sheer number of moves we have access to, it was actually hard to design the overlay for this challenge. I could hardly make all the TM and HM moves fit. So here's the issue with Amnesia. If you want to use it on your moveset, you need to keep it from the start of the game. The move reminder doesn't exist in Generation 1. Additionally, due to Snorlax's slow speed and just kind of like meh defense and special, we're going to take a lot of damage regularly. Because of this, Rest is going to be staying around for the entire playthrough as well. This constricts our moveset flexibility if we choose to keep Amnesia around for the entire run. Additionally, Amnesia will get better as the game progresses. The reasons for this are that we gain access to more great special moves in the mid to late game. And additionally, Amnesia will be more powerful due to the way that stats are recalculated with the badge boost glitch. The more badges we have, the more powerful it will be. So let's talk about how Amnesia works in Generation 1. A stat can be raised or lowered 6 times from its original value. In Generation 1, each increase in stage provides a 50% boost, which is always calculated based on the original value. At 6 stages of setup, the Pokemon will be 4 times its original stat. Amnesia is a status move that raises the Pokemon's special 2 stages. Since special is used both offensively and defensively in Generation 1, this move isn't so much of a trade-off, but more of a like having your cake and eating 6 other cakes simultaneously. And to make it even better, it also triggers the badge boost glitch. What is the badge boost glitch, you might say? Well, let me explain. In Generation 1, 4 of the badges you obtain give your Pokemon a 12.5% increase to a particular stat. For instance, the Boulder badge given to you by Brock gives your Pokemon a 12.5% increase in their attack stat. After obtaining one of these badges, when a move that alters the player's Pokemon's stats takes place, this badge boost is recalculated by the game, adding an additional 12.5% boost to the attack stat. So if you have the Boulder badge and an EV uses Leer on your Pokemon, the game will give it a 12.5% boost to your attack. The game does correctly recalculate the stat that the move directly affects though. So Leer would correctly lower your defense by 1 stage. So let's take Amnesia for example. If you use it once when you have all 8 badges, Snorlax will get a 100% increase in special, and a 12.5% increase in every other stat. This badge boost stacks. So using Amnesia 3 times in a row will max out your special stat, but also triggers the badge boost glitch 3 times, leading to around a 42% increase in all your other stats. Amnesia is really good. After just what am I saying? What did I even say? Oh my gosh, my brain just turned off. Okay, here we go again. After just over an hour of resetting, I find this Snorlax. Max defense and max special. It has a 17 in attack, so that's the best that I can do for now without leveling up to find out what its attack DV actually is. Snorlax number 1 is on the left, and it knows Amnesia. Snorlax number 2 is on the right, and it knows it as well, but it just forgets how to use it today. It's honestly quite ironic. If I speed the footage up or slow it down in this layout that shows both runs, I'll apply the same speed alteration to the other footage as well. So in this view, things will always be synced to real-time played. To make this as difficult as possible, I want to have the rival pick Jolteon. We have a low special, and it also knows double kick in some fights. Additionally, it will always outspeed us. The harder I make this run, the more benefits that Amnesia will yield. To make him pick Jolteon, I need to defeat him in the lab and at the optional fight west of Viridian. In my previous video, I said that there was nothing east of Viridian. Well, there is. It's just way over there. I played through the game with Snorlax a couple of weeks ago as preparation for this. Because of that, I have some information on how to defeat Brock already. Rest is going to allow both Snorlax runs to defeat him around level 10 or 11. The tricky thing here is that the right-hand Snorlax will not be allowed to use Amnesia, while the left-hand Snorlax will. Amnesia is great when Onix uses Bide. While it doesn't boost any relevant stats, and there are no badges to trigger the glitch at this stage of the game, it does let us waste a turn without having to fall asleep. To make matters a bit complicated, Snorlax's lack of speed will allow Onix to move first, getting off Bide before we land our planned hit. That means Bide will typically deal damage. Due to early game routing and skipping a few useless potions, the Amnesia Snorlax is already in the lead. Both Snorlax end up completing Brock on their first attempts, and there is only actually a 14-second difference between their 2 times. Mount Moon gives us access to the TMs for Water Gun and Mega Punch. The Amnesia run is going to be slightly constrained here. I can't delete Amnesia, and I want to keep Rest, so that I can use it to heal during Nugget Bridge and on other routes. Using Rest to heal will minimize the time walking back to Pokemon Centers. Because of our low speed, we take a lot of hits too, and Rest gives us a way to recover lost health consistently. Due to this, I don't teach Amnesia Snorlax Mega Punch, while the other Snorlax gets both of these moves. That greatly increases its available PP. You've got some sizable PP, Snorlax. At the end of Mount Moon, I defeat the Super Nerd and grab the Dome Fossil. I've been spending a lot of time with these fossils over the last week. My versus race with them is coming very soon, hopefully at the end of this week. The script has expanded to a size that I'm honestly unable to fully produce it in a single week though, so I might need a bit more time with it. On Nugget Bridge, Snorlax without Amnesia gets an advantage due to its huge reserve of PP. Here it can get through the entire route without having to head back to the Pokemon Center once. I can heal whenever I need with Rest, and then use Water Gun, Mega Punch, and Headbutt to defeat all my enemies. Amnesia started this route ahead, but at the end it's actually lost time and fallen behind. Because of Snorlax's attack stat and access to Mega Punch, Misty is very easy for both runs. I didn't expect this portion of the game to be an issue at all anyways though. After she's defeated, I teach Snorlax Bubble Beam, replacing Water Gun in both cases. Because we have access to Rest, I'm going to skip healing until after I've defeated Surge. I grabbed the Hidden Ether just before Bill, and it's really going to help Amnesia Snorlax keep pace and skip the heal in Vermilion. At the trash can puzzle, I stopped the timer. You've all let me know that I can just save after finding the first switch and then reset if I choose the wrong can. I knew this before, but I was honestly just banging my head against the wall. Resetting somehow seemed way more inconvenient than just trying to solve the puzzle all over again. Here I get very unlucky with my choices. Usually the second switch is adjacent to the trash can that was the first switch. But there's one scenario where it is just randomly the top left can, and this is what turns out to be the case for me. Theoretically, Surge could be scary. Snorlax doesn't have great defense, and Raichu can hit really hard with Thunderbolt, Mega Kick, and Mega Punch. However, because Raichu knows Growl, and he likes to use X speed, this fight ends up being easy for both Snorlax. With him out of the way, I head over to Diglett's tunnel and dig my way back to Cerulean. This is why I didn't heal in Vermilion, and this is also why you should have insurance against Charmander. Charmanders, they've been known to destroy a lot of things in Kanto these days. Up until this point, these two have stayed neck and neck with each other. I got a small advantage with the Amnesia run in the Brock split because I played it second and implemented a few optimizations. Then that advantage was taken away during the Nugget Bridge portion of the game purely because of access to more PP with the additional damage dealing move, Mega Punch. From Rock Tunnel till Erika, both Snorlax stay in pace with each other. There are no major differences in this section of the game. It's worth noting that Amnesia Snorlax has been operating with a built-in disadvantage this entire time. Amnesia is just dead weight at this point. It gets better the more special moves I know, and the more badges that I have. This section of the game starts to actually give it access to some of these TMs that use the special stat. Thunderbolt, Psychic, and Ice Beam specifically. I'm going to need to save Thunderbolt and Psychic for later, but Ice Beam I can put to use right now. Erika sends out Tangela first. Because it has Bind and Constrict as physical moves, I can set up Amnesia here. After that's done, I use Ice Beam and easily sweep through her entire team. Without Amnesia, Snorlax on the other hand struggles with this fight a bit. I honestly could have got less lucky and been stuck here or forced to train. The issue for this Snorlax going forward is that I'm underleveled and I don't have a setup move that can help mitigate this gap of levels. I'm going to have to either take fights slower, using Rest more frequently, or begin to do some additional training. Let's look at how things stack up so far. After the first 4 gyms, things are incredibly even. Amnesia Snorlax only leads by 9 seconds. From here though, Amnesia is going to get a lot stronger. After I take care of Pokemon Tower, I head over to Silph right away with both Snorlax. I want the TM for Earthquake that's on floor 10. This is going to give me a move that has high base power and also leverages Snorlax's attack stat. I kept thinking that Earthquake is going to be super effective against Koga because he's a poison type gym leader, and I was forgetting that his Pokemon are dual types. The Venonats are bug poison. Bugs resist ground type moves, making Earthquake neutrally effective against them. So in this case, normal moves like Body Slam are stronger. since Snorlax gets the 1.5 times stab modifier and also additionally a chance for paralysis. Venomoth, of course, it's a flying grass type, so Earthquake is going to be really useless against it. A serious nuisance is unlocking it though. Standing in front of it is a rocket who has a Machoke. This thing knows low kick, and because Snorlax is so slow, it outspeeds and can knock us out. Immediately after him, I need to fight the trainer with the Hypno, so I actually do an optional fight instead to heal Snorlax with rest so that it won't faint against the Hypno trainer. The rival is next. He opens with Sandslash. Because I have Amnesia, I figured that this fight would be incredibly easy. I set up on Sandslash and then knock it out. Ninetales is easy too, but then Cloyster comes out. Mega Punch does almost nothing because of its incredible defense stat, and Ice Beam does almost nothing as well because it resists ice moves. The worry here is that I'll run out of PP before completing the fight. And I can't teach Snorlax Thunderbolt to knock the Cloyster out because I have to save that for after Giovanni. It is really essential to have an electric move for the Elite Four. So I'm stuck slogging away against this Cloyster, healing up every so often. Clamp is really starting to rival Sand Attack for the most annoying move as well. It grabs you and just keeps going. It's even worse if you're playing with a Pokemon that takes neutral or super effective damage from water moves. I just completed my playthroughs for the Fossil race, and I have to say, Clamp was awful. Even Scythes for hands can't help you when a shellfish gets a hold of you. Once I finish Cloyster off, I learn Body Slam, and then his ace Jolteon comes out. I try Body Slam against it, but it doesn't do much damage. Next turn, I switch into Ice Beam, and here you get to see the power of Amnesia. It knocks Jolteon out in a single hit. Snorlax, who has a base 65 special, knocks a higher level Jolteon out. Jolteon has 110 base special, by the way. Giovanni is scary. Nidoqueen knows Double Kick, and because Snorlax is part of the slow level up group, I'm underleveled at this point. We're also slow, so we take a lot of damage during the fight with his first 3 Pokemon. He gets me down to orange health before I knock the Nidoqueen out. Snorlax without Amnesia is starting to struggle at Koga now. I'm underleveled because of the slow level group, and because my moveset has made the game a breeze up until this point. After fighting him once, I think it's time to train. Being 12 levels under his ace does not give me confidence. On the other hand, Amnesia really begins to shine against Koga. Setting it up allows me to tank all of his psychic type attacks really well. Because I know rest, I have good survivability in this fight, and I can heal the status conditions that the initial Venonats dish out. While I don't currently have a special move, Amnesia is triggering the badge boost glitch, which now raises my attack and defense. The badge that Surge gives out is the one that raises your defense. So I'm able to get through this fight at level 38. Without Amnesia, I actually only level up once to level 39, and then I get a good turn of events. I paralyze Venomoth, which allows me to attack again and knock it out. So Koga didn't wall me for too long, but the fight certainly was less consistent. You will have noticed that I used Earthquake a couple times here, so I reflected on this in the script writing stage and realized that Body Slam was definitely the correct move, but while I was playing I was kind of thinking, yeah, poison types, they're all purple, right? Just keep using Earthquakes on them. But yeah, I definitely switched for Venomoth because I know that it's a grass flying type. Blaine is next. I want to complete him instead of Sabrina because his badge is the one that gives a boost to your special. It will make tanking Sabrina's psychic type attacks slightly easier. Even with Amnesia, Blaine isn't happening at this level. This comes down to the fact that his Pokemon know some really strong physical moves, like Takedown and Stomp. Setting up allows me to take minimal damage from his fire moves, but his attacks that are physical really do far too much damage to Snorlax. Both runs need to spend some time training. However, it's key to note that I attempted Blaine far more times at lower levels with the Amnesia run. Because of how powerful the move is, I really thought that I could get it done at a lower level. In retrospect, I think this is a misplay. I should have just leveled up to level 42 or 44 and then beat him when it was more consistent. The likelihood of defeating the Elite Four starting in the 40s is very low anyways, so I'm gonna need to train up at some point. With Blaine out of the way, Sabrina is next. I forgot that I hadn't battled her, so I made another misplay and I headed over to Giovanni's gym first. Whoops. I thought for a second that I might have pulled a J-Rose and forgot Erika, but then I remembered beating her with Ice Beam. So I fly over to Saffron and prepare myself mentally for this fight. Okay, I'm ready for the pain. Here's why Sabrina is awful with Snorlax. I'm slow, and Abra can land so many flashes before I finally manage to take it out. I'm getting flashbacks to my Aerodactyl run. I think I actually need a safe word against this Abra, so the safe word is Sand Attack. I knock the Abra out and I get to set up on Kadabra. Amnesia is going to make Snorlax tank hits way better, but I will have to eventually hit her Pokemon with Body Slam in order to take them out. I switch into it and cross my fingers that I'm actually going to land some before my PP runs out. I take Kadabra down, and then surprisingly against Alakazam, I one-hit it. Alright, let's do some property damage. And the consolation prize for forgetting Sabrina in the first place is that Dig takes me back directly to Viridian City. Giovanni is next. In Generation 1, one-hit KO moves will fail if the user's speed is lower than that of the target's. So Snorlax can be taken down with Fissure here. But beyond that, there is a bigger problem. All of his Pokemon are physical attackers, and I don't have a way to boost my defense. In addition, Persian gets critical hits very often, which bypass my stat changes. I decided that it's time to train. In retrospect, this is one of the reasons that being stubborn at Blaine was a bit of a misplay. I could have just done a lot of the training then, and moved through these 3 gyms faster with less failed attempts. There is also the option of using Harden, which Snorlax learns at level 41. As this move boosts your defense, it could have been incredibly useful here. It also gives you the ability to trigger the badge boost glitch 9 times in total, because you can use Amnesia 3 times and Harden 6 times. Reflecting on the run as a whole, I think that this might have been a good option here. However, I honestly just discounted Harden because it seems like such a bad move. Like, it's the terrible move that Metapod learns early on in the game. So I just said like, no, I don't want to learn that. That seems like trash. At level 45, this fight still isn't happening. The Niddos deal too much damage, and of course I'm not outspeeding. I do some additional training in the fighting dojo, and then return to Giovanni at level 47. Even at this level, the fight is challenging. I'm still resetting. In Fight 3, Persian gets off double team, and Snorlax starts to miss after setting up. Finally, I manage to hit it and take it out in a single turn. Next is Nidoqueen. She gets knocked out by a single Earthquake, and now I'm outspeeding. That's the power of the badge boost glitch. This is the level that I needed. Nidoking goes down, leading to his ace, Rhydon. It's gonna take some time since I have to use Earthquake against it. I'd love to have Surf for this fight, but I can't remove an HM move in this generation, so I really can't be locked into a Water type move for the Elite Four. The Snorlax without Amnesia takes on Blaine after Koga. Again, I want the special increase to assist against Sabrina. With Amnesia, I even needed to level up for this one, so I've got to train here. Without access to Amnesia, I just need more levels. I could have considered Harden here again because Blaine is tough and he has a lot of physical moves, but honestly again, I just disregarded it because it seems like an awful move. So I spent some time training until I get to level 47. Additionally, I have more moveset flexibility, so I decide to pick up Reflect in Celadon City. This will be useful against Blaine and Giovanni. Against Ninetales, I take it out as fast as possible. It's going to use Flamethrower or Tail Whip, and I really don't want either of those moves to land. At level 47, I can one-hit it with Earthquake. Rapidash is next. I tank a Stomp Well, and then I set up Reflect. This is going to minimize damage from Rapidash, because its only special move is Fire Spin. Then, this fight gets a bit messy. It lowers my attack 4 times in total with Growl, and gets a critical hit Stomp Off, forcing me to heal for a second time. I finally managed to take it out, and his ace Arcanine is last. First turn, my Body Slam paralyzes it. That's really good. It gets a critical hit and I need to heal up. I don't want this fight slipping away from me. It takes a bit of time, but I eventually knock it out. In this playthrough, I don't forget about Sabrina. Sorry I forgot about you last time, bae. This time, I get good luck. She uses an X defend on Abra and Body Slam knocks it out in one hit. Kadabra is next and also gets an X defend. But the Sleepy Bear's attack is just too high and it goes down to a single Body Slam as well. I level up and teach Snorlax Double Edge. Slightly more base power will definitely help against Alakazam. This is a clear example of the advantages of having a more flexible moveset. I just feel okay teaching an additional move every now and again, without having to over-plan absolutely everything. This fight was a lot easier, and honestly that's entirely luck-based. Abra just didn't get Flash off. In combination with my misplays in the other run, and the good luck in this run, that's a couple things that are working against Amnesia Snorlax now. Giovanni is the last gym leader. On my first attempt against him, I get taken out by Nidoqueen. But this feels manageable because of Reflect. I reset and try again. I set up Reflect on Dugtrio. It misses a few moves and then I knock it out. Because I get through the Persian fight with good health, the Nidos can't do much damage to me. Reflect is really doing some heavy lifting here by minimizing the damage from their super effective double kicks. That gives me the turns that I need in order to take both of them down. Rhydon takes 3 hits from Earthquake, and with that I've defeated Giovanni and completed the gym challenge. All of my misplays with the Amnesia run really come to bite me here in this split. No Amnesia is now in the lead again by 2 minutes and 1 second. I'm almost certain if I played this again and just leveled before Blaine, I would be winning with Amnesia. I could also have considered Harden, and if switching into a special move like Psychic might have yielded better results earlier on in the game. One interesting note though is that the Amnesia run is still at a lower level. So while the time is similar, Snorlax is getting through the game roughly 2 levels lower. If your goal is to finish the game at a low level, Amnesia seems to be the right strategy. Maybe Amnesia Snorlax will end up being my lowest level finish ever. That's seeming very possible right now. With Amnesia, the final rival is trivial. Sandslash doesn't know any high base power moves here, giving Snorlax the free opportunity to set up Amnesia 3 times. After that, I use Execute as an opportunity to heal. Look at its Solar Beam. That did basically nothing. The Amnesia Snorlax is such a tank. After that, I sweep his team. I've taught Snorlax Thunderbolt now because it will help against Cloyster. Additionally, electric moves are incredible against the Kanto League. They take care of Lorelei, Agatha's Golbat, Lance's Gyarados, Aerodactyl, and sometimes Dragonite, as well as the champion's Cloyster. Without Amnesia, this fight is a bit trickier. I can use Double Edge to knock out his first 3 Pokemon. However, I need to heal against Cloyster. I don't want Kadabra and Jolteon to outspeed and knock me out. Because my special isn't extremely high, it does take 2 turns to knock the Cloyster out. Kadabra outspeeds and lands a big Psychic. Jolteon is last, and I only have 89 hit points remaining. Lucky for me, it uses Thunder Wave, and Snorlax still lands its Earthquake, knocking the Jolteon out. Here's the splits so far. The pre-league time that I record is the time that the Pokemon is ready to attempt the league for the first time. So I've got to get through Victory Road, deposit my other Pokemon, grab some full restores, and then teach the Pokemon whatever moves I want on my learn set before the league. Here's their stats and move sets at this time. The Snorlax without Amnesia is still in the lead in terms of time. However, I'm not sure that that's going to stay the case throughout the league. As for rules for taking on the league, I'm going to save between league members. I won't keep attempting Lorelei if she feels inconsistent at the current level, so in that case I'll train up. I think Snorlax will easily get through the league around level 65 or so. So when I reach level 75, if I'm losing to the Elite Four members consistently, I'll start using rare candies. If a run loses 5 times in a row to a single Elite Four member, I'll use 3 rare candies and then attempt again. After 5 more losses, I'll use 3 more. This saves the maximum amount of time from training, as when we use rare candies at a high level, they allow us to skip more experience points. This also allows these videos and these runs to let us explore the rough estimate of the lowest level that is possible with these Pokemon. So, who's going to come out on top? Let's find out. At level 50, Snorlax without Amnesia struggles against Lorelei. I'm not able to deal as much damage as I want with Thunderbolt. In addition, all of her moves deal a lot of damage. I attempt this fight 3 times, but it just isn't going to happen without some serious luck. Rather than just wait for that luck, I level up to level 56 in order to access Hyper Beam. This adds a lot of time to the run, but I think this is going to make getting by Lorelei predictable and consistent. It also means if I use all 10 of my rare candies, I'll be level 66, which I'm highly confident will be able to get through the league. In the first fight, she traps me in Clamp with Cloyster. This move is really getting to me, especially playing with Kabutops and Omastar so much this week. It just keeps landing and takes Snorlax down to 1 hit point. What is this move? Thankfully, I actually managed to heal. Disaster averted. 2 Thunderbolts take care of Slowbro. Jinx is next. It uses Thrash and knocks Snorlax out. So, even at level 56, this fight still isn't perfectly consistent. The next fight, I get back to Jinx, and this time I knock it out. Lapras is last. I tank its attacks very well and then land Hyper Beam. It isn't enough to knock it out. Then I luck out. She misses while I recharge. So I just need to hit her one more time. She uses a Super Potion, and then my Hyper Beam misses. Lapras lands a critical hit Blizzard, but the Sleepy Bear hangs on and knocks Lapras out. Okay, that felt more lucky than consistent. I'll take it though, because I've already sunk a lot of time into training in order to get Hyper Beam. Okay everyone, if you've been distracted or fallen asleep watching these sleepy Pokemon, it's time to wake up. Bruno is, well, incredibly unpredictable. Because Snorlax is so sleepy and slow, Hitmonlee is outspeeding us, and it can land high jump kick. On my first fight against him, this is what happens, and Snorlax gets knocked out in a single hit. Lucky for me, the second fight, Hitmonlee uses Double Team and Double Kick instead, and that allows me to knock it out. The second Onix presents a chance to heal before Machamp comes out, and it's going to be another issue for Snorlax. Submission can deal a lot of damage, so I want to be prepared for that. Funny enough, Snorlax actually outspeeds Machamp and knocks it out first with a single Hyper Beam. Nice. Next is Agatha. She is the first member of the league that is completely easy for Snorlax to deal with. Her ghost moves don't affect us at all, and all her Pokemon take super effective damage from Earthquake. The league hasn't felt great so far, so it's nice to get a bit of a break while I contemplate how I'm going to defeat Lance. If I can avoid removing Thunderbolt from my moveset, that would be ideal. I want to keep it for Cloyster in the champion fight. It's going to clamp me a lot, and Leech Seed is going to be on the field because I'm very slow, and we really can't one-shot the Exeggutor, so I really want to keep Thunderbolt. I attempt Lance for the first time with my current moveset. Gyarados leads. I hit it with a 4 times effective Thunderbolt, but it survives. He uses a Hyper Potion, and it survives a second hit. I finally take it down and Dragonair comes out. And then, it freezes me. Well, that was terrible luck. Let's try it again. Gyarados is the same story, but this time it uses Hyper Beam, so it needs to recharge, and then it gets knocked out. Both the Dragonairs go down in a single hit from Hyper Beam. No recharge necessary. Thanks, Gen 1. Against Aerodactyl, I take the opportunity to heal. I want to go into the Dragonite fight with good health. I'm probably not going to one-shot it, so I need to be ready to tank a Thunder or Blizzard. We both open up with Hyper Beam, and neither of us KO. Second turn, it misses Thunder, and I knock it out with a neutrally effective Thunderbolt. Again, Snorlax moves on with a small amount of luck. Thunder missing was the key. The champion is next. On the first 2 fights against him, I don't adjust my moveset, and things really don't go well. Exeggutor is incredibly annoying, and I can't get past Cloyster. The Leech Seed Clamp combo is just too brutal. I teach Snorlax Blizzard in the place of Earthquake. I really should have just done this before Lance. That would have made the Dragonite consistent. I can now use Blizzard to knock the Sandslash out and prevent a lot of damage. Hyper Beam takes care of Alakazam, and then Exeggutor comes out. It's so annoying. I can deal a good amount of damage to it with Blizzard, but it just keeps healing itself with Leech Seed and slowly leeching away at me. By the time I wake up from my rests, my health is already fairly low again. It ends up landing a Hypnosis, and Snorlax just likes sleeping too much, and so it goes down to Leech Seed damage. The next fight I make a risky choice. I arrive at Exeggutor with not very much health. I damage it with Blizzard and it stomps me into red HP. Then I choose Hyper Beam, hoping that it will knock it out. It does. I'm moving on to Cloyster without Leech Seed. And then Cloyster outspeeds with Aurora Beam and knocks me out. Whoops. With slow Pokemon, always play safe and heal with Rest. Snorlax with Blizzard can get back to Cloyster with decent consistency. This time Leech Seed is on the field, but I lucked out with a freeze against Exeggutor, allowing me to proceed with green health. Here it uses Spike Cannon and then Ice Beam. Because it didn't use Clamp, I'm able to knock it out in 2 turns and avoid a lot of damage from Leech Seed. Against Ninetales, I heal up and get stuck in Fire Spin. Oh no, am I just gonna lose to Fire Spin? These moves are really the bane of slow Pokemon's existence. It's like the Champions team is sort of designed to make the game frustrating if you have slow Pokemon. No wonder I just always used fast glass cannons as a kid. I get to heal again, and this time Ninetales uses Quick Attack instead of Fire Spin, giving me the chance to land a Hyper Beam. Jolteon is next, and I'm in orange health. Not a great situation. It uses Thunder Wave, and that gives me the opportunity I need to heal. I need to be able to survive at least 3 Thunders. I tank 2 very well, but I'm not sure I'll make it through the 3rd. However, Jolteon switches into Quick Attack, and I survive. Please Hyper Beam do enough. It lands and Jolteon faints. Snorlax has defeated the league without Amnesia at level 60, with a time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 20 seconds. Honestly, not a bad finish. But let's see how it does with Amnesia. Lorelei opens with Dugong. It outspeeds and uses Aurora Beam. I always go for Body Slam first here. This ensures that Dugong will fall asleep if it uses Rest second turn. It does this almost every fight. Once it's asleep, Snorlax can forget about everything and become a god among Alakazams. Because Rest takes 3 turns to run its full cycle, turn 1, go to sleep, turn 2, stay asleep, turn 3, wake up. That gives us all the time we need to set up our Amnesias. Due to the badge boost glitch, Snorlax outspeeds Dugong, and Thunderbolt knocks it out. From here, the fight is easy. Spam Thunderbolt and watch her fierce Pokemon fall. Oh wait, Jinx actually puts me to sleep with Lovely Kiss, so is Thrash actually gonna knock Snorlax out? No it's not. Jinx actually ends up hitting itself in confusion, and then I can heal. By the way, when I was writing this script, I kept writing Trash instead of Thrash. Thrash is honestly trash when Jinx uses it because it has base 50 attack. I end up hitting it with Body Slam and knocking it out. Lapras after that is an easy one-shot with Thunderbolt, and on my first attempt, I defeated Lorelei. And aside from a brief scare caused by Jinx's Lovely Kiss, it felt very consistent. Bruno is next. I teach Snorlax Psychic for this fight. This will be useful against his fighting types and Agatha's poison types. Against the first Onix, I set up 3 Amnesias. After that, I begin my sweep. Go Forgetful Bear, knock out all these terrifying fighting types. Hitmonlee still outspeeds, but it doesn't use High Jump Kick. That's all I needed. Then his Ace Machamp comes out and uses Submission, and makes my Forgetful Bear very sad. Losing to Bruno is a special kind of embarrassment. When I'm filming these and he defeats me, my ego just quietly pokes me and says, hey, can we just cut this footage? I'd prefer that no one saw this. And then I'm just well, I'll just write about my girlfriend in the script and that'll make me feel better. And then everyone will know and my ego will also feel better. The second fight against him, Machamp uses Strength, which doesn't knock Snorlax out. Psychic lands, and I've done it. In both runs, Bruno is honestly unpredictable. If he uses fighting moves with Hitmonlee or Machamp, Snorlax is most likely going to lose. Agatha is next. Guess what I'm gonna do? You guessed it. Set up 3 Amnesias against her Gengar, and then sweep. So, this Gengar knows Mega Drain, and it was so satisfying watching it deal almost nothing to Snorlax. As I've mentioned, I've been playing through with the fossil Pokemon this week, and grass moves are brutal against them. So this move has been causing me a lot of pain. Snorlax did lose one fight with Agatha, but that was just a misplay from me. I got greedy and delayed using rest while poisoned. I learned my lesson, and the second time I get through the fight, sweeping all of her Pokemon with Psychic. Snorlax, you're pretty slow, so I gotta remember not to do any more YOLO hold my beer moments with you. They tend to not work out so well. Against Gyarados, I can set up. It's fun watching each turn of Amnesia slowly whittle away the amount of damage Gyarados can deal to me. Then I heal up. One thing I do need to be careful about here is critical hits. Gyarados has a 25% chance of landing them due to its base speed, and critical hits ignore stat changes. I wake up and knock it out with Thunderbolt, so no critical hits this time. The Dragonairs are both one-shot with Psychic, and so is the Aerodactyl. Dragonite is last. It uses a turn 1 Blizzard, and Amnesia just says, "No Dragonite, that's a bad move now." I rest up, and then it uses Hyper Beam. The recharge turn gives me a chance to wake up and switch into Thunderbolt. It misses Blizzard, and then I take it into Orange Health. It lands Blizzard next turn and gets a critical hit, knocking Snorlax out. In retrospect, I could have replaced Psychic with Blizzard to add some consistency to this fight. That's a similar moveset mistake in both runs. Guess I didn't learn my lesson the first time. In this next fight, I get back to Dragonite, and it misses a Fire Blast, allowing me to take the victory. Against the champion, I make a mistake in the first fight. I keep Psychic on my moveset. Never keep Psychic for the champion in yellow. This makes Executor and Cloyster nearly impossible, and depletes so much of my PP that I might not be able to continue the fight if I did manage to knock them both out. Second fight, I do the right thing. There's a reason that I saved the Body Slam TM all this time. I replaced Psychic with it, and now I'm ready. Sandslash is still an ugly fight. I only do 2 turns of setup because Earthquake does a lot of damage and I need to heal. But once I've knocked it out, Alakazam is easy. The addition of Body Slam allows for a way to take care of Executor. Before doing so, I set up. Thunderbolt knocks out Cloyster in a single hit. That feels really good. No annoying clamp spam this time. Ninetales gives me a chance to heal up, but I get trapped in Fire Spin. The first Body Slam I land paralyzes it and makes it less consistent. This is the ticket I needed to get to Jolteon. It takes a while, it really did take a while, but I knocked it out. Jolteon decides that these 2 runs need to be even and uses a first turn Thunder Wave. I get a Body Slam off and it survives. I switch into Thunderbolt. Jolteon survives with a sliver of health and uses Pin Missile. But it's not enough, and Snorlax did it. We can crown our winner. Unsurprisingly, when using Amnesia, I was able to get a better time with Snorlax. This is despite making some serious misplays, which cost a lot of time around Blaine and Giovanni specifically. If I did this race again, I predict that the results would repeat. I'd be able to train up slightly earlier and take less attempts on Blaine. I'd also refine my moveset slightly so that each fight is a bit easier. While Amnesia does offer a really strong method for defeating the Elite Four, it does feel like deadweight on my moveset for most of the entire run. It felt like I had this really annoying useless move that just followed me around, demanding that I never replace it. In the end, with Amnesia, I also finished 6 levels lower, at level 54. That's my lowest level finish to date,